When we got married, my wife's brother I sat down at the dinner table and, "She needs someone who can pay," he said. "The bill." My wife smiled and said, "He's yes. I was told to eat in the kitchen. I forgot to take my ring off when I was with the kids." Table and drove for 6 hours that night what I sent her the next day and made her my name is Mark, and I'm 36 years old. I've been married for 7 years. Years to a woman I thought was my best friend. We live or lived in Dakar, Illinois. I work for a nearby tool store. Bring in company. It's not exciting, but it's honest work that I've done for a long time. I met Jenna when she walked into. She was in the store one summer afternoon, 28, learning massage treatment and looking for. We used spray paint for a shelf project. I helped her carry while we talked and laughed. After a week, we went out and stuffed her car. It was a year before we moved in together. Got married, she had always been driven. She wished she could have her own massage business. Supported that 100%. She didn't make much at first, so I helped with and paid most of the bills. Her business even paid for its own startup costs. Got her license and paid for her first massage. Table. I didn't have any problems, I thought. Her fast forward to now, her really began doing well last year. Now she made more than I did, and I was proud of her. But something had changed in the last few months. She became far away and would roll her eyes at. My jokes began to focus on her family, especially her brother. Blake is 40 years old and has always been a jerk. Someone who is single and doesn't have kids drives a different. Every couple of months, he talks like he's better than everyone else. I liked him, but I never got rude to him. Jane, he always poked fun at me. Nothing big enough when we were together to blow up over, but it broke apart. It's been 7 years since we got married. Jenny told me we'd have a party at her house. Said her family lived with her sister in Peoria. Planned to do something nice for us. I even thought that was sweet, even though I had to drive 90 miles. When I got home from work on a Friday, I showed. Bring a bottle of wine and I bought her a simple silver chain with a gem and a card I wrote by hand, too. Nothing crazy, but I thought it was thoughtful. I saw when I walked in something strange. 11 people were near the big, at the dinner table. Every place was taken. Stood there holding hold of something. The gift and wine are ready for someone to move. Blake looked up and, "There's room in the kitchen with the kids." I thought he was kidding. Really laughed and said, "Okay." Jenna didn't say, "That's funny. Where do I sit?" She laughed and said, "No, really sit in the kitchen with the kids. We're almost done setting up in here." I looked at. She thought for a second that she must be having fun. She wasn't everyone else. Looked like it was normal for her mom to down. Her sister got up and went into the. She didn't want to be in the kitchen. I told them, "Today is our anniversary. Do you want me to eat with the kids?" Blake leaned back in his chair and took a sip of wine and said, "She deserves someone in her life who can really pay for dinner, man." Then my wife Jenna smiled, but she didn't. He needs to be corrected. She did not protect me. Failed to show. Shame. I looked at him and said, "He's not wrong." It got quiet in the room, and I didn't yell or anything. I didn't even say anything else. I just walked into the kitchen set, putting the wine bottle on the counter, took the ring off my finger and put it next to the wine, and then I left. No one was after me when I got in my truck, and as I began to drive, I didn't have a plan. I ended up there because I had to be somewhere else, up in Moberly, Missouri, 6 hours away at the house of my Uncle Pete. He's a quiet person. The retired widowed person lives alone. I showed up at 2 a.m., and all he said was, "You want a beer?" That's the type of man he is. I didn't sleep that night. I wrote Jenna a letter on his porch, took a picture of the ring on the counter and sent it along with a letter to, "This is what it said. You the next morning not only put me down, you made I get it. Now that you've been pulling, I had been away for months and wasn't able to see. I can see it. But last night was clear that Blake likes you more than you want. I'm not going to fight for you, husband. Someone who lets her brother take care of me, likes dirt, and laughs as he does it. I didn't expect it. But good luck. I'm done. anything. But after a few hours, I began getting texts first. Can we talk then? I think things went badly back then. I didn't answer the phone when she called. I got another message from you this afternoon. Overreacting, you made me feel bad. I spent the whole day making fun of her. And the more I thought about it, I saw how unfair this marriage was. Had turned into, I went through her bank. I looked at every bill for each account. I had given her money in the past year. My cell phone plan covers my car insurance, mostly for me, like food and utilities, but I paid more, and her massage business, I signed that LLC, so it's in my name. Forms when we registered it because she said I had more things in order, but I didn't. Think again. So I got everything together. Things like bills and papers, I have them all. Wasn't going to use them to get back at. It was just a break at first, but I knew she was there more as I watched. Had been writing over our hole she had with her family in her mind. They never liked me because I was never Blake. Wasn't flashy and I didn't have Bitcoin. Didn't put people down, but I was there for her and backed her. I cared and they didn't, so I made up my mind not to just leave. In a quiet voice, I was going to erase what was mine after I sent her that message, and didn't answer her. Calls, I thought I let it go, but after 2 days I got in the subject line of her email said, "You can't just leave like that." The body of email full of reasons she wasn't available. She didn't because her family told her not to. Meant for it to go that far. That Blake, I took it too seriously, I was just laughing. She finally, we said, "We can fix this." Home she doesn't. Really owns she just blames and I changed my mind and didn't answer. Instead, I called my friend James. He's a partly illegal in Springfield, but not fully. He's a lawyer, but he knows his stuff. Paperwork that I told him I had to keep my hands off of Jenna's business. Quickly comes out because the business is in, that's when I officially owned my name. Everything about the website hit me. Payments for making appointments were linked to my name, email address, and accounts. Because of this, I stopped all of the plans. Business PayPal shut down because of an app. The business bank account was locked. Stopped while ownership is reviewed. That day, they called me 5 times and left me a message yelling that I was messing up. That was the first time I heard about her life, smiled after a week of building her a small business in my name and on my credit and my help. But all of a sudden, I was nobody who doesn't get to eat dinner with the kids. After that, I began getting texts from friends they both have. Her cousin Rachel asked why you took her down in a message site. She's going crazy. I replied, because she made fun of me in front of I wasn't her family, she told me. Okay, I'm not going to help someone who trashes me, Rachel didn't say. Answer, Jenna's sister emailed me the next day. Hey, I know what was not written or emailed. It was rough, but Jen is really, I am sorry to hear that she is losing business. At the very least, help her move the business to her. What was their name? Now they needed my help. They didn't say a word when I was there. I was sent to the kitchen like a servant. I'm done. She can hire a lawyer, I said, being used. I got a text that night from Blake. Yeah, Blake. It said, "You're being a kid, grow up." I looked at the screen for a minute and then sent back, on my anniversary, "You sat in my seat and told me my wife deserves a better man. I left without hitting you." That was me. As a child, he didn't answer the next. She drove to my uncle's house last week. Didn't call first, just showed up. My uncle called me when he knocked on the door. She was crying when she got out of the garage. She cried ugly tears and said, "Please, Mark, I was dumb and didn't know what I doing. I was trying to make I'm sorry, family. Please help me fix. I didn't say this while I was standing there." Then she said something that really started the fire. "You're mean. Only did one wrong thing. So why are you punishing?" I like this one mistake. This one mistake is not remembering our date, not putting me down in front of your whole taking sides with your brother and family while you make me feel bad about myself. This isn't punishment. This is what it's like when someone won't let. She tried to hug me, but I said no. When she took a step back, she looked broken. but no longer did, that make me feel bad. It was her choice, and she never thought I would pick myself. She left, not saying a word, but things weren't done. But a week later, I was served she filed to get half of the business. Money made in the last 6 months. Yeah, after everything, she asked me for money. What I saw then was this wasn't just no longer about pride or disrespect was war when I got that letter. I sat on the porch because I thought it was a joke. While my uncle looked at the formal notice, Mark Allen Carter laughed out loud. Please be advised that Jenna Reyes wants an equal share of the income. The same thing came from Reyes Wellness, LLC. I gave money to the business that was listed in my name was the one that made me freeze when she said it. Shamed me in public and dumped me like trash. She asked for a half. I called James again, my friend the lawyer, and I almost choked when I read him the letter. He said she's either dumb or desperate or both. Most likely both, I was. Ready to blow up, but I stayed. Calm down and get things in order, I began. Putting everything together, I made a full spreadsheet costs for bank payments, pictures of receipts for startup costs. I even found the first lease I helped write her sign for the room she used for therapy downtown. That had my name on it too, but this is where things went wrong while I was getting everything ready. I got a Facebook post from a woman named Brittany, had never heard of her. It said she was, "Hey, I don't know you, but I believe we should. I used to go out with Blake," he told me. "Some things you should likely know." My heart started beating fast, so I asked her a few minutes later. She told me what she meant. I later heard Blake talking to his friend a few months ago. He told her, your wife would leave your house at the end of the year that she was sick of, wasn't sure how to carry your dead weight." Who you were back then. But when I saw your name in a post from a friend of ours. I asked her if she had put it all together. Proof that she didn't record anything, but she remembered the bar were, and even the exact weekend she was willing. To write a letter, I wasn't sure if I should thank her or I felt sick to my stomach. Blake had been Jenna against me for months by harming her. I began to think about maybe longer. Every time she got home, it was cold and quiet, or not in the mood. Every time I asked if there was a problem, but she said no, just he was tired and leaned on her ear, and she let him. I turned all that anger into something useful. Getting clear, I got in touch with a reel. This time, the lawyer paid for the meeting, fee, and told them everything. The business, the bank accounts, and the word from Blake's ex-girlfriend, the dinner. He heard then said in a quiet voice, "I think she's trying to file for partial as well ownership of things," he said. I agreed. "All right, let her try. You're going to bury her." She gave her paper. He helped me file an legal move to claim full ownership of the company and its funds, since it was in my name and had all of my money backing. Showed we had a strong case. That same week, Jenna's massage client began to get in touch with me through the I still have an old work email. One woman who was in charge said, "I had paid for a package of 5 lessons and I can't reach Jenna. What's up? What's going on?" I didn't answer. I saved it. As proof, the biggest surprise came next. After a week, Blake's business, that a lot of flashy crypto bullshit he talked about, seems to have been flagged by the IRS. Someone had seen or heard of some strange behavior. And try to figure out whose name was linked to one of Jeff's shell accounts, because Blake used her new massage chair. She tried to start a second business. As a professional cover under a new name, it was messy and clear that it hurt his cash flow. And the government looked into it. It was easy to find. You think I told you about it? I'll give you a guess. Someone did. Bree finds out that Blake cheated on her. She found out and waited for the right time to get back at him when she found out Jenna took part and made sure that the feds saw everything at once. Jenna wasn't just sad about customers she lost, was talking with FBI agents and Blake phone, off and nowhere to be found to Texas or Florida. No one knew, but didn't stop there. Her family, who once began to laugh at me in silence. Getting scared, her mom called me and said, "Jenna is falling, and I'm scared for her. She needs someone to be there for her when they are apart," she said. That was my job before. They fired me in front of you all. I hung up. Jennifer finally sent me a message a few days ago. I need your help now. Full on begging. I was lost and didn't know what Blake was doing. I'm scared. I looked at the screen for a while. You typed back and smiled while he shamed me. I hope it was worth it for him. I hope he got that last message I sent. Was worth it. But Jenna didn't call me. Nothing but texts and calls for 2 weeks. Then I got a letter from her that was signed. I was officially being sued by her for half of all business gains going back in time for the past year. She was also asking that I take back control of the business to her, and my lawyer laughed when he read it and said, "She's going crazy." I gave her a free ride for years, want her money back for a place she didn't pay for, because he helped me make a full bar. Suit not only to keep all of the job, but to get paid back for every personal costs I paid for that were related to the I paid $200 for her a work laptop. $900 for a massage table and office furniture. With my card, we kept track of everything. I then took one more step because I had proof that she did business with we turned to Blake's fake crypto advisory group, that over to the police so that selfish. This wasn't any more about getting even. It was to keep my name safe, because by law, that business was still mine. What came next? Let me tell you. Right away, the IRS put a hold on her personal account. She used to get paid under the table for more than a year through a different A-Health brand that Venmo is tied to her side that she didn't put on her taxes. The check began with Blake, but once Jane's name was in the paper, they dragged her in too late. A report was made about the massage license, was turned in to the Illinois Department of Rules for Financial and Professional. It wasn't her job to do that. Paperwork for the new brand name. She didn't intend to have that business. Being that she did it from home, it looks like that's still against the law. Her license was taken away waiting third look into it, and this was the last nail. My lawyer filed a move in court to shift full responsibility for problems with the law that involve her unregistered second business that only takes cash because she tried to split the profit from mine. It was clear enough. But she also takes the risks of what she began without me, and the court agreed. All of a sudden, she was drowning in debt, and she didn't have any customers. Brother to hide behind, no problem. I knew I wasn't done, but my husband didn't say anything. She still had pride, so I crushed it. That too, legally with the help of my lawyer. I wrote an offer to settle the whole anyway. I gave her $1,000 cash if she agreed in writing to end the business, will never make any more claims, and officially say that she didn't get any. She wouldn't take less than what she earned. At first thought it was rude a week. After some time, she agreed and signed this comment, took the $1,000, walked away, making her mother look bad. Called me after the deal was turned in. I hope you're happy she's fully broken. I told her she should have. I thought about that before I chose. I was thrown out by her brother, and even though I was trash, I wasn't proud when I was dancing in success. I took a few weeks off from work and stayed a little longer with my uncle. I thought about everything. My job, I sat back and let things happen. In reality, I had ignored warning signs and let her rudeness build up for years. Blake talked to me like I was dirt. Too inactive and too focused on helping, I learned that I forgot to take care of myself. I moved back to Decatur, but things are now different. Different place, same life. I still work with the same business that sells hardware, but I'm now in charge of the team. After I finally got the raise very quickly, I stood up for myself. And you know what? Kept the business, but changed its name to the new name got a real doctor to come in. With her own license, it's now getting bigger. Real. And making money. As for Blake, I've heard he's being looked into for wire fraud. Brittany turned in more proof of fraud. In 2 states, he is being charged. She tried to get a job at a nearby spa last month. The proprietor called me not being aware of our past when I told him. He told the whole story, word for word. Thanks for letting me know. She didn't get it. I got one last text about the job last week. I messed up everything I missed from her. I looked at it for a second, then I deleted it. She didn't answer or react. Her pic in front of a room full of people on our anniversary. I made mine in there. was quiet, and it sounded worse than vengeance didn't work for anything she ever said. It came with anger or violence, truth patient, and a cold signed agreeing to a deal that said, I won. How I was told to eat in my ring was left on the table, by the kitchen.